Hello, everybody. My name is Alba Molteni, and I am here with the. I don't even know how to begin. I have so many tags that I can put you on, and at the same time, it's like all of the above, none of the above. Amazing, fantastic, phenomenal, wonderful magician, fucking creator of magnitude, always willing to be herself. And of course, my dog comes to say hi as soon as I'm saying hi to you. Say hi, doggy. Say hi, doggy. Desiree Dumont. And we are so happy to have. Hello. We're so happy to have you guys.
Hello.
Actually, just let me, before we even begin, just let everyone know Desiree has been without a voice maybe for 2 weeks now. So we're going to be keeping this Zoom very short, sweet, and to the top because we want to let you know what are we going to be playing with. So I don't know if you want to start telling them what's our game. Why are we inviting them to something that is called Unapologetically You? What is that about?
What is that about? Can I dive in for a second? So, on my way to the airport tonight, I'm at the airport, so I hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm on my way to Choice of Possibilities with Simone Millicent. So, I was looking at all the different questions we could be asking with these calls and what we could create. Having this conversation, and unapologetically you would be digging into who you truly be, and anywhere you're apologizing for any part, it might be somewhere where you thought that it was wrong, or it doesn't fit, or it upsets someone, or it's too much. So if we actually all were willing to be our unapologetic selves, what reality would we create? What would this look like? And so since we've been in this conversation and creating this call, everything has been changing, where if I am not apologizing for maybe feeling tired or feeling wired or being ecstatic or being weird, just all around weird or unperceivable, or almost beyond this reality, even in my own body. The more I'm just willing to do that lately, the more magic has been showing up. And I mean, sitting here at the airport, getting on a flight in the middle of a blizzard in Denver when all the flights were canceled almost all day today. I'm on my way because I made a demand beyond this reality.
Exactly. And that is, I think, one of the thrills when and just like the basic stuff, right? We started having this conversation back when we were in Italy in the castle, when the gala started. We were actually acknowledging ourselves and acknowledging each other, like how different are we and how many things have changed in our lives in the last year. And it all started with actually this acknowledging, just recognizing, looking at, wow, we've come so far, we've made all these choices, we've made all these demands, and all of this is showing up. And at the same time, we were more aware than ever, like, wow, and there's so much more that we can be choosing. And there would be like so much more ease if we actually chose it from the space of, I'm not gonna apologize because I want it all, because I am fucking intense, because I am a demanding bitch, because sometimes I'm super controlling, sometimes I lose it, and then I just come back to me. And so when we started having this conversation about how did we want to play, what did we want to create with this, it was like, okay, we want to actually have a conversation with people. We don't want to be just conference people telling you all of it, but we actually would like to invite you to wander with us, because we know that as soon as you acknowledge something and you realize something and you have the awareness of something, then that space is going to be available for each and every one of us that is willing to follow. So what awarenesses have you been having lately that you cannot get it into your brain? It cannot be cognitized, and because it cannot be cognitized, you're not acknowledging them and you're not actually allowing yourself to just follow the whispers, just follow the whispers of consciousness. And how much more can we be choosing from that space?
I love that. And I wanted to add, when we were, the gift of this conversation where it started in the garden at the castle, which is so decadent
Yes.
and so opulent and so beyond this reality, to be sitting in a garden, creating and acknowledging each other for how far we've come, but really willing to look unapologetically that we're just getting started.
Yeah, exactly.
And the needs, desires, and requires, or the things that we're asking for, shamelessly. And we had this really cool discussion where we were kind of looking at the differences of where we started to, wherever you apologize for some gift or capacity, maybe your awareness itself, maybe your physical capacities, maybe your beauty or your brilliance, but anywhere that you start to apologize, up until now, at least for me, I just knew that the best thing I could do was to actually cut that part of me out of the equation. So I was only showing up to certain parts of my life as a very small section of myself, a very small fraction of myself. And I think at the castle was the most I've been willing to be me, and the most I felt like a lot of us were willing to be ourselves, and also looking at how far miles and miles and miles to go.
Yes.
Because there's so many questions we haven't even asked about what we would be if we weren't apologizing for especially its phenomenon.
Exactly. So the way that it's going to be working is that we're going to open a Facebook group that, thank God, that Facebook also already has like that ability to translate whatever. So it doesn't matter if you speak English or Spanish, you'll be able to write whatever comes up to you. We're going to have 3 calls. The first one, we are actually going to be in paradise together doing this first one. We're going to be in Langkawi. How does it get any better than that? So probably, yeah, it's like, oh, we started this conversation in Italy and now we're going to be meeting in Asia. We're going to have this first call. And by the way, just to be very clear, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, this conversation would have been like, no way. What?
Me
We're
too.
gonna be meeting each other in Italy, and then we're gonna be in Asia, in the middle of an island that's epically beautiful with a luxurious and luscious ambience. Yes, that's possible for your life and living if you desire to choose it, and if you're willing to not ever, 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 ever shut yourself down. So if that is a demand that you have for your life, come join us. It's gonna be a bit uncomfortable. I'm not telling you it's gonna be all sweet and nice and no, most probably there's gonna be swearing. There's gonna be fucking uneasiness. But if you're actually willing to like walk the extra mile and just be present with whatever that is, and for a change, not being the demand that this is going to change in this instant, but actually allowing the awareness to go through you. Oh my God, the rewards, I tell you, off the charts.
Well, that's so brilliant because that is unapologetically aware.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can explore so many amazing subjects here, and there's a lot of spaces and places that I have been dynamically uncomfortable, and I know that my uncomfortable is just getting started as well. But that unapologetic awareness and knowing that your choice creates and knowing what you know, like we talk about this, but I think in terms of the conversation that we would like to have, two of us, and what we started at the castle and what we have in mind as we explore these places and spaces and the questions that you guys will bring, this can change, this can unlock, and it's just by us coming together to be together to ask the questions, and the clearings show up and the conversation shows up, and it does, like, you put two or more together, this consciousness having our back, and who the hell knows what we can fucking unlock.
I am fucking excited to see what we can unlock, because I know that each and every time that you and I have met, we've been meeting in this more like in a bigger space. I don't even know how else to define it, but just in a bigger arena that we're like, we were wondering in Italy 1 year ago in CF, saying, yes, this could be like just one of the many epic days that we can choose to have. And I know that we both of us have come along, and we have our lives and we have like our different paths. And at the same time, there is this awareness of like, wow, how cool to have a friend of mine that can be there for you in such a completely different space than usually women can create, because women can be a bit hectic. Women can be
Women, I mean,
crazy.
what this women, I mean, what we've created, which I don't know what the term is yet beyond this reality, and that with match friendship, because it's far greater than that, and that doesn't even fire. But when we actually are choosing to be unapologetically ourselves, we're no longer intimidated. There's the no competition becomes active. As we all acknowledge ourselves unapologetically, competition becomes irrelevant. And so contribution just flowers.
Exactly.
And I know for me, it is spring, and I love this new beginning on the planet, this new wave of choice that everybody is tapping into. And it has only been joy from the moment I met you, and how far we've both grown into ladies, and what we can invite people to be for each other.
Yes.
Because we just basically been having a blast and making more money, having more fun, and hanging out together and looking better.
Yeah.
Body healthier.
Exactly.
Happier, everything.
Exactly.
While being dynamically uncomfortable with each other, having each other's back.
Exactly. So 3 calls, 3 Facebook lives. It's gonna be 1 hour each. And in the meanwhile, of course, I'm pretty sure we're gonna come up with something like in between. We don't want to put this like in a row. We actually want to allow for some time and for some space. So each and every call has its own energy that you could really like fall into, and anything that call brings up, we can chat about it in the Facebook Live and make it as interactive as possible. And this is going to be translated also in Spanish. So I wonder how much fun we can have, because this is like whenever different cultures and different people come together, there's so many points of view that we are not even aware that we have. Like we were not aware of how much we locked down our sexualness when we first started having these conversations. I thought I was happy before, like I thought I had it, like it's okay, it's a fine life, I'm having fun with it. And now I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is what I was missing out. Now I'm more eager to see what else am I missing out on that I can now choose, if I choose to be unapologetically me all the freaking time, with no expectation of how is that going to look like, with no point of view, just from the play of I'm on all the time. So is it going to be uncomfortable? And most probably it's not going to be uncomfortable only for you. Maybe it's going to be uncomfortable for the people that are around you. And of course, that's why we have tools and we have questions, so we can make that easier.
And the more questions that you ask, and with the Facebook group and having a constant conversation on Facebook, the more things that come up, the more further we can go. And I know that Alba and I will be creating, like, the more content and the more energy, the more that we can also contribute, and let's go the mile. I mean, I don't really have time to waste on anything other than a decadent, wonderful, alive life and living. Because before, like, I'd say 3 to 4 years ago, I was not really living, and I didn't even know how to ask for anything. And so if that resonates at all with any of you, just know that that can change. And wherever you think you are, there's always infinite possibilities. It just keeps getting greater.
Yes. I don't think there's anything more that we can say right now, unless that you have any other questions from the crowd. We are super excited. We already have Google Sheets that will enable you and allow you to register. So we will get those. We've got your mails from the Zoom registration that you have. We're gonna facilitate that and send out in the next couple of days. But if you have any questions, you can contact either me or Desiree, or you can also contact Hector, or you can also contact Valentina in any language. They both also speak Spanish and English. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. And if it pops to share with anybody else, please do, because as I would love to always say, we come together to be together to make a better planet, make a better future.
Yes.
Let's create. Let's do it.
Let's create. Let's fuck shit up and have just a ton of fun and amazingness show up in our lives. This is going to be epic. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.